Hey there, science fans. Today we're talking about biosafety. It's all about keeping ourselves and our environment safe while doing cool science stuff. Think of it like wearing a helmet when you ride your bike, safety first. We use powerful tools in biology like bacteria, viruses, and even genetic material. These things are super interesting to study, but we need to handle them carefully. That's where biosafety comes in. Labs could accidentally release dangerous germs. Stay tuned to learn more. Pakistan, like any nation doing cutting-edge science, takes biosafety very seriously. Why? Because it's about protecting its people, its environment, and its hard-earned progress in science and technology. First and foremost, biosafety guidelines protect people. That means the scientists doing the research, the technicians assisting them, and even the people living around a research facility or a biotech company. Safety for everyone is the goal. Second, Pakistan wants to make sure it's following the rules. International organizations like the World Health Organization have set standards for biosafety. Pakistan, by having strong guidelines, shows it's a responsible player in the global science community. It's all about being prepared. So, what are the big ideas behind biosafety? Think of them as the golden rules that every scientist in Pakistan needs to follow. First, this is all about keeping potentially harmful stuff locked up tight. Special labs, airtight containers, protective gear, it's like having multiple layers of security to prevent anything from escaping. Second, before starting any experiment, scientists need to ask, what could go wrong? They identify potential hazards and figure out ways to minimize those risks. Third, this covers all the everyday habits that keep labs safe. Fourth, science creates waste and some of it can be hazardous. Finally, biosafety training is essential for anyone working with biological materials. Not all science experiments are created equal. Some involve pretty harmless stuff while others deal with things that could make you really sick. That's why we have different biosafety levels. Think of them like levels in a video game. Level 1 is the easiest, with basic safety precautions. As you level up, the risks get higher, and so do the safety measures. This is for labs working with things that pose a minimal threat to people and the environment. This level is for labs handling moderately hazardous stuff. These labs work with pathogens that can cause serious diseases. Section 5. Pakistan's biosafety team, laws and leaders. Pakistan has a well-defined system to oversee all things biosafety. It's like a team of experts making sure everyone follows the rules and stays safe. At the top, we have the National Biosafety Guidelines. These guidelines, developed by experts, provide the framework for biosafety in Pakistan. They cover everything from handling GMOs to managing bio-waste. Then there's the National Biosafety Committee, or NBC. This group of scientists, policymakers, and other stakeholders advises the government on biosafety matters. Section 6. Biosafety in Action, Tips for Scientists. Okay, future scientists of Pakistan, this section is for you. Here are some practical biosafety tips to keep in mind. Know your stuff. Before you handle any biological material, do your homework. Understand the risks involved and the proper safety procedures. Dress for success. Lab coats, gloves, eye protection, wear the right gear for the job. Keep it clean. A clean lab is a safe lab. Disinfect your work surfaces regularly and dispose of waste properly. Sharp safety needles, scalpels, broken glass. Handle sharp objects with extreme care. Dispose of them in designated sharps containers to prevent injuries. Report it. Accidents happen. If you spill something, break something, or get hurt, report it immediately. Section 7. Real-world biosafety, the case of GM crops. Let's take a real-world example of biosafety in action: genetically modified, or GM crops. These crops have been altered in the lab to have desirable traits like resistance to pests or tolerance to herbicides. But before a single GM seed can be planted in Pakistan, it undergoes rigorous biosafety testing. Scientists want to make sure these modified crops are safe for human consumption, safe for the environment, and won't have any unintended consequences. It's biosafety in action, using science to protect both people and the planet. Section 8. The future of biosafety, protecting Pakistan. As Pakistan continues to advance in biotechnology and life sciences, biosafety will become even more critical. New discoveries and technologies bring new opportunities, but also new challenges. The field of biosafety is constantly evolving to keep pace with these advancements. Scientists, policymakers, and the public need to work together to ensure the responsible development and application of these powerful technologies. Remember, with great science comes great responsibility.